Hello. Hopefully I am in Cathy's group here. So I'm about to get started. So if you've jumped on, say hi. Let me know that you're here and you can hear me okay. And that I am in Cathy's cooking class, which would be awesome. All right, so yeah, we're gonna get started with some quick cooking and a little bit of slow cooking all at the same time here. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually get some potatoes going in the microwave. So I just have, hey Cathy, I'm in the right spot. We're all good here. I'm going to go ahead and get started just so I know that everybody's busy and probably, doesn't want to be watching for too long. So we're just going to get right into it and I'll chat about me and Epicure as I go along. So we're making baked potatoes with some pulled chicken on top. So I just have 3 baking potatoes, oh yes. And then I'm just going to go ahead and poke some holes into it just to let some steam out. Okay, I'm going to toss them in the microwave about 6 minutes, so 2 minutes per potato. And then we will see how that goes. In the oven is actually the starting of our butter tarts. So I went to buy Tarts at 2 grocery stores and both of them didn't have it, so I am improvising with shortbread butter tarts instead. So all I simply did was make the shortbread mixture as it says. It's pretty simple. One of these and some melted butter and a little bit of water. Softened butter, mix it all up, and then I just press it into hi Lana, and just press it right into the sheet, my perfect pan that I like, and I use about a tablespoon about for each one. If you're a little short, just add some water in the other one, and then I'm just going to let those cool, and then I'll make the butter tart mixture to go on top, and then I'll throw them back in the oven for about 10 minutes. So they're out of the way. So there we go. So while you're here, right? Epicure is all about really clean, really delicious seasoning and spices that you can go ahead and do whatever it is that you like to do. So it's not so much to take over how you cook unless you're not really a cooker. But if you are a cooker and are a baker and all that, this is just to help you out with a bit of meal prepping beforehand, maybe some gluten-free options, maybe some nut-free options. Hi Heather. Maybe it's just simply money conscious. Maybe it's you have a lot of other diet restrictions in the household, so dairy-free, anything like that. And we can totally help out with all of that. So most of the seasonings are about 80% vegan. Everything is gluten-free, everything is nut-free. Everything is dehydrated, clean seasonings that gets blended here in Canada, and that we ethically source all over the world to bring in the best possible seasoning. So whether it's non-GMO, whether it's organic, or whether it's or vegan or anything like that. So when we say that vegan, we really mean vegan, like that from the whole process up, it's vegan, because sometimes if you're concerned, fertilizers used from animal products, things like that, we make sure none of that happens in all the whole process, which is the fun thing, or the great thing about when we say it's gluten-free or nut-free or vegan, we mean it. And there you go. So, for example, in this really delicious shortbread seasonings, or package, or mix, if you want to say, you get 2 packages. There's oat flour, organic powdered sugar, modified tapioca starch, cornstarch, vanilla extract, and sea salt. So super simple. And even simpler is how you make it. Like I said, it's you mix in a half a cup of softened unsalted butter and a tablespoon of water, mix it into dough, and normally you make it into cookies, squish it, and do whatever you want. But as you can see, I made them actually into the base for the butter tarts, which we will get to in a few minutes. All right, so I already got started with the baked potatoes. They're in the microwave in a steamer for about 6 minutes because I got 3 in there, so about 2 each. I'll see how it goes. What I'm going to do is bring them out, cut them open, pull out a bit of the innards, mix in some seasonings, and then go ahead and then rebake them in the oven since I've got the oven going. Anyways, so on that note, I don't know if you brought a drink or if you've got a drink in hand. Let me show you my fun drink I like to do. So I just have a bit of summerberry. we're antique cakers as well, so that's what the cool thing is about our 4-in-1 spoon. It'll actually get around and pull out whatever it is that maybe you have hardened up a little bit. So I'm gonna, my summer berry, I'm just going to take a peach. You could use a lemon or lime or something. So I'm just going to go around the edge with my peach for some fun, and then just dip it into my summer berry. Grab some soda water or whatever, you may be having some wine or something. And if you wanted, you could have a little bit of fun and pour it in there, make it kind of a cute little, see how it fizzes up? That's pretty cool. So it's fun. So there you go. Cheers, everyone. Summer berry is one of our sweet dips, which is all about making your own, you know, like a fruit yogurt, or maybe baking with it or anything like that. I like to bake with it. I like to make lemonade with it. It's really great. So in here again is, where's my, okay, organic cane sugar, raspberries, hibiscus, strawberries, and organic rubus. I always say that wrong. But literally there's 3 grams of sugar per 1 teaspoon. So imagine putting that into a yogurt compared to buying the sweet yogurts or anything like that. But as you can see, I actually put it in drinks, and there you go. So that's that. We'll move that out of the way. Okay, so now let's get into the butter tart section. So I'm just grabbing a bowl. I'm just gonna grab our True North butter tart seasoning or mixture. So in there, that's what's in there. I'm gonna dump that in the bowl. And again, you just follow the instructions, pretty simple. So it makes about 18 tarts, but as I said, I'm gonna be actually putting it on shortbread. Oh, awesome, perfect timing. I actually need to melt my butter. And potatoes are done in like 1, 2, 3 seconds. Woohoo, potatoes. All right, so give them a second while I do that. I'm gonna melt the butter. Yeah, so about, I'm gonna say another 4 minutes. Microwave, it's always different depending on what you're gonna do. So in here it tells you what you've got. So 1/4 cup of warm water and of unsalted butter melted, which is got there. So I'm just gonna grab the water. That's why I love our prep bowls, because everything is written right on the side. You get 4 in an order, and they come with the cool lids, which I will show you. All right, so that's it. 1/4 cup of melted butter, 1/4 cup of water, and 1 egg to thicken it. So you don't have to do the egg if you don't want to. It just makes it going to be runnier. But because I'm putting it on the tarts, or on the butter tart thing, don't do that. I'm going to actually put the egg in. And just give it a good mix. Oh, sorry, putting potatoes back in. Forgot what I was doing. All right, so potatoes back in. Okay. All right. Now let's grab the shortbread cookies, which have cooled down enough for me to be able to pick that up. And same idea. So you could use the 4-in-1 spoon, or you could actually just use the 3-in-1 spatula. But basically, it's the same concept. You want about a tablespoon on top. And I put the shortbread in for about 10 to 12 minutes. It just depends again on your oven. People have been using the muffin molds that we have as well. So they actually get more of like the butter tart shape. But this particular pan is my favorite. I pretty much make everything in it because I do get about 30 of 2 tablespoons each of whatever it is. So if you've been to any of the events, you might have seen me bring them because they are perfect little bite-sized treats. If you are watching your portion control, they are great for that. So if you're trying to have like a small amount of desserts or something, if that's a concern, then this is perfect for that, because you can make a whole bunch and freeze them and have snacks for later. I've actually made my own chocolate bars in these. I've made mac and cheese bites, quiches, appetizers, you name it. I probably have made it in here. I have a little bit of extra. Alright, so there we are. So there we go. That's the butter tart mixture on top of the shortbread mixture, and then that'll be 10 minutes. And then those will be ready. Alright, so let's get started on next. So hang on, what have I missed? Anybody's questions or anything? Sorry, I'll come back to you. Hello, Wendy, Heather. Just such a fan. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know. The pans are awesome. Okay, so tonight what we're having is pulled chicken on top of a baked potato that I'm gonna actually like double bake it. So I'm steaming it here in the microwave, and then I'm gonna throw it in the oven for the last like 5 minutes on broil, just to get crispy on the top. There's an option that I'll show you that you can do. Otherwise, I'm actually gonna use, here's my pulled chicken that I've already made. So if you were home, so like this is a game day or a lazy Sunday or any kind of day meal, you get your slow cooker on or your Instapot or whatever you might have, and you can go ahead and make pulled chicken, pulled pork really quickly, or in essence you can prepare it really quickly and then set it and forget it, and then come back when it's dinner time and make whatever you need. I made it in my meal prep yesterday. I actually used it in made it in the round steamer in the oven for about an hour and a half, and that's what I did. So again, I've made it already, just because obviously you don't want to sit here and wait an hour and a half in front of me, but that's what that is. So you can either use one or the other. So I'm actually using chicken, but I'm using the pulled pork seasoning because I happen to like it a little better, but each one is depending on your flavor profile. So for example, you do get 3 packages of these in an order, and it makes 20 servings in this one package. And it's onions, chili powder, chipotle chilies, cayenne pepper, and spices. And you simply 1 cup of ketchup, vinegar, and half a cup of vinegar, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of water. Now, stop here. I don't follow the recipes exactly like it is, so I minimalize sugar. So if I'm putting ketchup in, I'm not putting brown sugar in. But be honest with you, I don't put either, and I just use tomatoes. So either crushed tomatoes or fresh tomato with extra water, and I'm fine with that. But you can make it whatever flavor profile you want. This is kind of more following, I don't know, the normal way it is out there, but you can do it however you like. And then a 5-pound of boneless pork shoulder roast. Cook it for the 6 hours on low or 3 hours on high, and then pull it apart and do whatever you want with it. Now, the pulled chicken is the same concept, except that its seasonings are a tiny bit different. Green bell peppers, tomatoes, chilies, chili powder, spices, onion, garlic, herbs, cayenne pepper. Same idea. Throw it into a slow cooker, Instapot, whatever you want, or in the steamer in the oven for an hour and a half, whatever you like. Again, it says the ketchup, vinegar, brown sugar. Again, I will skip that and put vinegar and some tomatoes, or maybe ketchup, it just depends. This particular one I did is vinegar, ketchup, and just water. So I changed it up a little bit. And 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken. Again, the same concept, 6 hours on low or 3 hours on high, and then away you go. Or your Instapot, whichever long the Instapot takes. I'm an Epicure girl here. We don't tend to use slow cookers or Instapots here. I use my steamer in the oven for maybe an hour if I'm busy doing other things, or microwave it, and away we go. So that's kind of how I am. So there you go. Super simple. Awesome choices there. And there we go. These guys should be ready to go. Okay, yes they are. All right, let me show you without burning my hand. Okay, so there's potato, and you can see it's squishing, so that means it's good to go. So what I'm going to do is just open one up. Oops, it away too much. Don't do that. Anyway, I'm just gonna pull out some of the goodies. This potato is fighting me. All right, fine, be that way. It's a little too soft. Oh well, you know what? That's fine. We'll just take one side and put it back on this side because that's the way it wants to be. Don't do it when it's super hot. That's basically what this is telling me. All right. And then the other ones, I was just gonna open up a little and then just bake them in the oven beside my butter tarts to give them a little bit of a crusty edge. All right, so the plan was to mush up the potato and double bake it with the creamy ranch dressing. Obviously, I've slightly messed myself up here, but that's all right. So again, I'm gonna use a tablespoon of the creamy ranch. That's what it looks like inside. And so you can make your own ranch dressing. So 3 tablespoons of the dip mix with 1 cup each of mayo, sour cream, or yogurt, whatever your combo you like. You don't want 3 cups of dip. Don't make that much, right? Just make as much as you would particularly want to be making and just kind of keep cutting. You can turn it into a dressing where you just add some milk or water to thin it out. You could sprinkle it on popcorn. It's a lot of options you can do with this one. So in here is onion, buttermilk powder, garlic, black pepper, chives, citric acid, and spices. So that's that. I'm actually going to use some natural sour cream instead since it's a baked potato. Mix that up with some of the potato. And then when the potato comes back out, this will be my dressing on the potato. That would be the plan. Or you can do the other version, which is put it back into your potato and then continue baking this guy in the oven, and then it'll get all crusty. You could put some Parmesan cheese on it or regular cheese, whatever you want, or no cheese. I'm attempting to be dairy-free, so I'm not gonna put any on. All right, okay, so that's that. All right, so did anybody have any particular questions or any comments while I'm finishing off here? So I'm just gonna toss the chicken back into my steamer just to warm it up. And there we go. So there we go. So, all right. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much, that's it. So the last little pieces is just, thanks Heather. Thanks Heather. As the name of the dip, it was creamy ranch. So it's like the lemon dilly CCB one, but it's the creamy ranch one. It's a favorite of a lot of people, but it's definitely, this one does have dairy in it, of course, creamy. Anything that says cheese, creamy, pretty much will tell you that there isn't a dairy in there. Otherwise, the rest of it is 80% vegan, like no dairy in it whatsoever. And you can go ahead and adjust your dairy. I'm dairy-free for majority of the time, just a little bit here and there. So I use either oat milk or almond milk for most of the things that it says milk on it. I don't cook always with eggs just because my husband doesn't particularly like egg, unless it's kind of necessary, but you can adjust that as well. And yeah. And yes, Heather, I know I love doing this. So in my private group, Fired Up Whizzes, I actually go live every second Sunday with my meal prepping for, again, about 20 to 30 minutes. Just kind of showing you what I'm going to make for the week so that things are really simple. Like meal prepping is my thing, my bag. I really love it because I don't like stressing out during the week. And Epicure really helps with that. If you'll notice, it really helps. I don't have to think about it. If I grab a meal solution any kind, more than likely I have what I need in the fridge or freezer already, because I stick with kind of the base protein, base veggies, and I just change up the seasoning. So if you're someone who can only have like chicken and broccoli, for example, you can go ahead and have a Mexican version, a Greek version, an Asian version, you name it, just by changing up the seasonings that are already prepared for you, already meal prepped for you, right? So yeah, and this is kind of how I got clean with my migraines, and I shouldn't say clean, but got rid of my migraines, or in control of my migraines, is by eating as clean as I possibly can, and by making most of my food at home so that I know what's in it. So things like salt is my big one for me. MSG is a big one for me. So I have to be very careful with that. So that's what Epicure has helped me with that. All right, so let me just take a quick look. It's almost done. I'm just gonna let it finish up for 1 more minute. And then I'll be able to show you the butter tarts, and I will plate up the baked potato with the pulled chicken. And of course, get some veggies on the side. We have a lot of carrots, celery, cucumber, tomatoes, things like that, or lettuce or salad, whatever you want. And then we'll have those as well, but that's kind of boring. But the other scenario, to watch me cut up vegetables, so why bother, right? I could make more of this dip and actually dip the veggies in it as well. Or if you want, you can change it up to lemon dilly or a new feisty green sauce or something like that, anything like that. All right, so this is in essence a cooking class. Thank you guys for being here. I'm really happy that you're all here. If you have questions about anything, feel free to let me know at any time, later on, DM me, whatever, email me. I would love you in my private group. Cathy is there. We really have some great fun with different games we do. Right now I'm doing like the fall bucket list, lots of different recipes and ideas. Feisty green. Sorry, Siri decided to start talking to me. Feisty green is this one here. This came out in the summer, and in here is Parmesan cheese. So there we go, definitely cheese, right? Garlic, herbs, jalapeno, organic lime powder, organic cane sugar, matcha green tea. So in here it's like 2 milligrams of sodium, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for a quarter of a teaspoon of stuff that's in there. There is, of course, some potassium and that, but it's, anyway, this is one of my new favorite for dipping my veggies in. All right. Woo. Okay. Can you see that? All right. So the whole chicken's all nice and steamy, ready to go. Let's put that aside. Let's check out the potatoes. They look nice and crispy. Do. Potatoes. And let's pull out the butter tarts. Be really careful with the butter tarts, obviously, because it is caramel, like sugar, and it'll burn you. So these definitely need to sit. If you want them to pop out faster, throw them into the fridge or the freezer. In about 10 minutes or so, they'll pop out easier. So definitely the whole physics things, it's hot. If you get it cold, it'll expand and you'll be able to pop it all out. But that's, sorry. But that's the good thing about it. You literally could just take it, push it, and it'll just pop right out like that. All right. So grab yourself a potato, open him up. This point in time, you could put some sour cream or whatever you want, but I'm just going to do the pulled chicken on top. And there you go. So there's the double baked one with the creamy ranch and a bit of sour cream baked right in. Vic and I'll share that one. And there's a regular baked potato with some chicken, pulled chicken on it. So there's our dinner with some fresh vegetables and dessert. So there you are. Thank you very much.
So yeah, so if you want to have your own cooking class here, like Cathy, feel free to let me know. If you actually book off a Cathy's class, you will get $20 of extra goodies added to your cooking class, and Cathy will get a half off. So it's a win-win, and it's a pay-it-forward kind of situation. So perfect timing to book your class, whether it be for September, which we still have time, or in October. There's a really good host host special. So every month there's a new host special. This particular month is a particular mold, and it's a mini bunt cake mold, which is pretty cool. It's exclusive. It's only for hosts. And then next month it'll actually be the wok. It's going on sale with a special. So you can pick and choose. And so there's no like, if you have a cooking class 1 month, you have to have that host special. You actually have 60 days to use your host credits. So lots of freebies, lots of shopping, and you can do it like the current month or the next month, whenever you're ready to use your host credits. And it's whatever's in a catalog. So it's even better. So you can do all that. And it happens to be this particular month in September, you could actually use your host credits towards joining me, like being a consultant, just like me, being part of the team, which is pretty cool. So you could use your half offs to pay for the kit, or you can use enough of your freebies that you get to pay for the kit as well. So it's pretty cool. So there's lots of awesome things happening in September because it's our new season and we've launched it, and we have given back lots and lots of yumminess. So there we are. Any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. Feel free to DM me. Feel free to go ahead and start ordering. The link is already in the description, but I'll repost it in a few minutes. I'll post it again in this particular video link so you can see it. And if you have any questions about anything you're seeing on the website, feel free to let me know and I can help you through any of that, get you the details, tell you what the spices are, anything like that you might need to know. And yeah, if you want to book, let's book. If you want to think about joining, want to know what we're all about, let's chat. Otherwise, thank you, Cathy. Thank you, everybody who joined. Heather and Anne and Alana. And I'm sure I'm missing somebody. But I'm thankful that you're here. And yeah, I think that's it. Anything at all, let me know. I'm here for you. Otherwise, I'm gonna go have dinner. Thank you, Cathy. And have a great night, everyone. Bye. Thanks. Oh, hi, Cheryl. I'm sorry, missed you. Thanks for joining.